Okay, boys, welcome to your science class. I am your teacher, and in today's science class, we are going to start our lesson 3.5. We are in unit 3. Today, the date is 28 and day is Wednesday. So, in this lesson, we are going to find out the changes, some materials. So be ready with your science learner's book and follow my instructions. First of all, we are going to know that how materials change. How materials change. So we in the previous classes of science, we have studied what are the materials. Now we are going to learn how these materials change. Material is water, wood. In the previous classes, we have also learned there are some man-made materials and some of the materials are natural. So here you can see our wood. This is a matchstick. It is burning. This is changing the material. This is changing the material by heating. So this wood is changing its shape by heating. What we did, we burned the matchstick and it is changing its shape. And this is a material, so it is changing its shape by heating. Number two, this is water. Water is in liquid shape. It is always in liquid. But what we do when we cool the water, water turns into ice. Water turns into ice and it changes its shape into solid. So these two materials have changed their shape by cooling and by heating. Okay, by cooling and by heating. So before going to the next page, we have some vocabulary words that are information. What is the meaning of information? To know something new, information. Anything you talk to your friend, you give him information, passing the information. If you come and you tell to the teacher, I am feeling good today, I am in the school now, this is passing the information to telling something. Liquid, anything that is in watery form or that can flow easily, it is called liquid. Like water is a liquid. Melt, ice melt and turns back to the water, turns back to liquid. Mixture, when we mix two things together, that is called mixture. When we make a juice or anything, tea, what we do, we mix with water, tea and milk. This is called mixture of substance. Then we have solid. You know, there are three types of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Table, chair are solid. Ice is solid, but water is liquid. Understand? Okay, moving on to the next page. Okay, moving on to the next page, page number 79. This is a boy who is making a cake. What is the boy doing? He is making a cake. And how he is making a cake? By heating. There are some cakes, they can be made by heating and some of them are made by cooling. Arun, the name of the boy is Arun, and what he is doing, He's making a cake using some solid material, and he is mixing these materials to make cake. First, he makes a mixture of 3 different materials. He mixes the sugar and butter together, then adds the egg. So these are things, or these are the materials he is using to make cake. Arun is making cake. He has some solid materials, flour, sugar, butter, and chocolate. He breaks some eggs. These are a liquid. He changes these materials to make the cake. So when we want to make something, we are going to make solid materials and liquid materials. Okay. So here Arun is what he is doing. He is mixing flour, sugar, butter, and chocolate with some egg. Okay. Flour, sugar, butter, and chocolate is solid, whereas some eggs are liquid. These are liquid. He changes these materials to make the cake. He's changing these materials to make the cake. So first of all, what he is going to do, he makes a mixture of 3 different materials. What are those 3 different materials? He mixes the sugar and butter together. Then he adds the egg. Next, he makes the chocolate melt by making it hot. Now, look what he is doing. He is changing the shape of material, that is chocolate, by heating. By heating the chocolate. He is melting the chocolate. You see that when you buy a chocolate, it is in solid shape. You take the bite of chocolate and put it in your mouth. What happens? It melts. Why it melts? By heating. It melts because of heating. Our body temperature is inside our body, the temperature is high than the outside. So when we put the chocolate bar in our mouth, what happens? It starts melting. It starts melting. So he's doing the same thing. The solid chocolate changes into liquid chocolate. He's changing the solid chocolate into the liquid chocolate. And how he is doing this? By heating the chocolate. How he is doing this? With the help of heat. Using heat, he is changing the solid chocolate into the liquid chocolate. Okay. Then he adds the liquid chocolate and the flour to his mixture. Now he heats the mixture in the oven. The heat makes the liquid egg change into a new solid material. This new material holds the other material together so the cake can keep its shape. So what he did, he melted the chocolate and he put the all mixture together. Then he put the mixture in the oven. He put the mixture in the oven to heat it. What happens? Egg is liquid, it changes into solid and it holds the other materials together. So the cake can keep its shape. So we get this shape of cake. Look here. This is the cake that Arun made. So he is making this cake with the help of ingredients, the materials, and with the help of heat. Okay. Moving on. Think like a scientist. This is a picture of some bread. This is a diagram of some bread. You can see yellow crumbs. You can see small holes, brown crumbs, and crust. A diagram is like a picture, but it only shows the important information. So what is the diagram? It is like a picture, but it tells us only the important information, not the extra information, or it is not giving us the information in detail. No, it is just giving the diagram tells us only the important thing. Here the diagram does not show the knife or cutting board because we are only learning about the bread. Why it is not showing the knife and the cutting board? Because we are studying about the bread, not the knife and the cutting board. Observe some bread carefully. Use a magnifying glass to see closely. Is it flexible or rigid? So how is the bread? Bread is flexible, not rigid. Bread is flexible. Write flexible in front of the question. Flexible. Flexible. The bread is flexible. It is not rigid. Hard things are rigid. But this is. The sides are rigid. There are a diagram of what the bread looks like. Label your diagram. Your teacher will now heat the bread in a grill or a toaster. What do you predict will happen? What will happen if you will heat the bread more and more? It will turn hard and it will turn rigid. It will turn rigid, hard and rigid. Do not touch the toaster or a grill, they get very hot. Observe what happens to the bread. So it becomes rigid when we heat it and it turns hard when we heat the bread. Okay. The bread has been changed into a new material that has different properties. The new material is a different color and it is harder and more rigid than the bread. It tastes different too. Yes, what happens when it burns or it is uh, roasted on the toaster? What happens? First of all, it changed its shape, its color, it changed its properties. The bread is soft, but when you roast it, it becomes hard and rigid. Okay, what happens? It turns hard and rigid. Here, can you stop peel fruit going brown? When you peel an apple or a banana, it starts to turn brown. Air makes the material of the apple change into a new material. June has a question. How can June find out the answers to her question? Talk about your ideas with a friend. Will water stop my apple from going brown? Yes. Sometimes when we want to keep the apple in its right color, what we do, we put it in the water, we mix it in the water or we put it in the milk. You know that when we make a apple shake, okay, or banana shake, what we do, we peel it and we put it in the milk, in the juicer. And we keep it that way. And when we want to drink the juice, what we do, we on the juicer and it blends the mix and makes the mixture of juice, mixture of milk and apple, and it gives us fresh juice. Okay. Which material changed from solid to liquid when it was heated? Which material changed from liquid to solid when it was heated? Before writing the question, let's read. When we heat liquid add, we make a new material. The new solid material cannot be changed back into a liquid add. So what we are doing when we are heating an egg, it's changing from liquid to solid. Heating solid chocolate only changes the properties of chocolate. Liquid chocolate can be made back into the solid chocolate by making it cold. So let's write the question. Answer of the question. Which material changes from solid to a liquid when it was heated? It was chocolate. So write chocolate. Okay, which material changed from a liquid to a solid when it was heated? Egg. Just a minute. Egg. Changed from liquid to the solid.